当然有很多感动的时刻，那其中一个也包含抛彩带之后。不过这个时候我听到一个声音，就是有人冲过去跟你讲说：“俊翔不要再吊球了。”
没有啊，就是。
那这个休赛季，你大概会着重在哪些加强的方向？可不可以跟我们的朋友分享？
他们想听懂什么？应该是运球吧。
欢迎收看台篮吃瓜第一品牌，我是秦景。今天邀请到的是 NBA 咒术师 ，A.K.A. 翻译举弱Kuan一起加入我们的主持的行列。Hello Kuan。Hello。好，这一次的主题呢，因为领航员跟勇士队血战7场之后，非常不容易的捧起了队史首座冠军，所以今天我们要来讨论的是这个夺冠的状况，还有其中的成员有什么样的心情。我们首先来欢迎的是2位核心的成员，分别是总教练卡米诺斯，还有 MVP 卢俊翔。
大家好。
哦，卡总刚讲了，中文呢，对，厉害。
Nah, don't ask more, eh?
All right, so it's been nearly a week since you guys won the chip. There's still a lot of chatters online regarding, like the whole journey. How does it feel to be the center of it?
Feeling is really good. A little bit like I say after the press conference, how sometimes when we were like recently playing some finals and this try to back to keep the team up again is really hard. And now having a chance to play the BCL and you don't have to do anything because all the team is like happy, is motivated, is like maybe it's also more confidence on what we can do on the future. This put like my job easier and be focused only on the basketball because before was a little bit like tough all this, but a little bit makes me feel calm on the way that they wanted to play for the goal. The goal of championship is not my goal, it's the goal that all the players put it and they already have. But now we need to find new goals.
其实已经过1个礼拜，其实还是记忆犹新了，对啊，因为其实从第1站到第7站是我打过最艰辛的这个阶段了。因为我上次说过东超是我打过最艰辛的一个比赛，可是我觉得这7站下来的话，我觉得不只是身体，连心理也是有受到很大的冲击跟压力。对，那其实都是非常非常煎熬的，因为你在对方听牌的时候，你不知道那场球会发生什么事情，然后我们可不可以赢下那场球？其实就是有挺多压力站在我这里身体上的。对，那我很开心，就是至少有挺过一小部分。
夺冠的过程当中，刚讲到很多辛苦的层面，其实就是因为前面有经历了很多辛苦的阶段，所以最后的果实会是甜美的。你从第2季的时候加入到领航员，然后那个时候整个球队的状况是正在重建垫底的，然后到了第5季之后，终于捧起了冠军奖杯。那对于你来说，有没有某个时间点，比如说在卡总加入之后，或者哪一个时间点，让你觉得说某个事件，这支球队已经跟之前状况比较不好的时候已经不一样了？
其实很明显，就是我觉得是上一季吧。对，因为其实上一季就是在冠亚军战，虽然就是比分有点悬殊啊，但其实能够很明显的体会到大家一直进步的感觉，然后慢慢越来越融入团队的那种感觉。对，然后尤其是卡总后来越来越对我们球员越来越熟悉，对，然后对到我们每个球员都有每个球员不同的见解，然后会去对每个球员有不同的方式去对待他。可是他去用不同的方式对待他的时候，可是还是整合着我们。
I don't think that there's a point, but what I see is the determination of most of the players have of work to have to be better. I remember perfect my first year with him, and then now no problems to say how terrible it was playing on the two-man game and passing and have turnovers and especially maybe he can remember good when Jeff Ayers was with us and on the practice really mad. But at some point I remember in some weeks like he was on the practice not trying to shoot and only trying to improve the pass. And this is a little bit the way that the players need to be like focus on some goals to improve it. And maybe in some point he feels really bad with the teammates. I'm having turnover. So some practice didn't take any shot, only trying to pass better. And this I remember perfect talking with Jeff because Jeff was mad because the pass was not good. But at one point, like, you don't see that he's trying to pass better. Jeff stopped and like, yeah, that's true. So, okay, let's go to, allowed him to, because the process of improving always have the steps of making mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you are not going to improve. So on this, for him and for all the players, sometimes it's like give the space for the mistakes, understanding that hope that they can learn from the mistakes, but they have to make it. And this is an example of how he tried to be focused on something, and he be focused on that. And after that summer being with the national team was funny to come, and he passed better, and he said, oh, I've been all the summer passing to Artino. Remember this? And because he have a big and he practiced on that. Right. And like him a little bit, most of the players, they are a little bit with this idea. And especially when we talk with them and with the coaches, and when we are doing every day the vitamins to improve their skills and everything, we try to put them some goals of, hey, you need to be focused on this. And it's the only way to be being better every day, trying to put the small goals that you can achieve and then go to the next.
一直以来就是我就是受到很多压力跟一些挫折的时候，就是其实队友们都跟家人都很相信我，对，然后其实我就是一直持续的相信彼此，然后一直改变自己的想法在球场上面。我觉得如果我收篮不好的话，我想要用别的方式去帮助队友，对，所以我就是会一直想着用团队的方式去赢下比赛，而不是专注度在于我这边。所以我觉得，就算我一场没有打得好的话，其实也有别的团队里面也有别的球员跳得出来。所以我就觉得这个是我们球队成长的一个地方啊。
所以你刚刚讲到面对压力的过程，那重点问题要来了。这个其实你在今年的东超打完之后，然后那3个失误。从球队的影片里面，其实看到你整个情绪溃堤的过程。然后在今年的冠军赛，你们前往蒙古之前，其实你也有说，感觉全世界都在跟你对抗，但是一次是成功的拿下冠军，另外一次是拿下亚军。你觉得，你是怎么从那个很低气压的情况下去走出来？那个时候你到底面对了什么东西？
第一个就是我当然会很容易陷入自己的一些低情绪的谷里啊，对。那我觉得，其实在这个时段的时候，其实队友跟教练的相信跟持续的鼓励，我觉得真的帮助我蛮大的，对。因为其实不只是自己的队友，还有一些朋友，像我也说那个大学长一向也有跟我鼓励，然后安哥也有一直跟我鼓励，因为他们最能表达就是他们之前当球员遇到的困境，因为他们之前也是在巅峰的时候，然后会有一些比较名气比较高昂的时候，然后才能理解我现在的心境。对，那我觉得我就是用他们的建议，然后去提升自己的自信吧。对，那我觉得其实我自己还是觉得我的命中率还是没有很高啦。对，那我相信就是也是就是觉得还是可以在球场上做别的事去帮助球队啊。对啊，那我觉得就是这些压力，就是我自己那时候认为啊，我现在已经是可能你们在中生代的时候才知道我这个球员是谁。对，那我如果现在就被打败的话，其实有点太早了。对啊。
Of course, it's something about like how much you trust on what we have. Not only now, also my first season, we have these 10 winning straight, and on the 9 winning streak, I remember that one time on one press conference, also they asked me like, "Are you going to keep giving the ball to Justin on the last minute?" It's like, of course. This is about a process where everything passed from not being perfect to improve, and without the experience of the mistakes, he can learn. No doubt that every game that he have maybe a bad decision at the end of the game, and knowing how he's going to try to don't repeat. And even if it's like the EASL or now, is something that sometimes I feel that too early they put in Taiwan some players too early on the lights, thinking that they are going to do everything perfect from the beginning. And this is really difficult because we want to compare, or the fans or some part of media, they want to compare with what, I don't know, Tyrese Haliburton is doing against the New York Knicks and make it. But also Tyrese Haliburton make mistakes. And sometimes they forget, like also on these top players, they miss shots. And when you check the stats of Michael Jordan with the clan shot, he also missed there. And these players that, of course, they need more experience to have these games, their space to have the mistakes have to be bigger. And if we don't allow these spaces, they are not going to grow. If we put too much the pressure on them, maybe we can kill the talent that they can have on the future. And I think that I never put pressure on all of these guys. It's like, you can miss this part. I mean, it's going to happen. We need to know where we are, and where we want to go is part of accept these mistakes. And he put this idea of try to be improving, and not only him, everybody. And I think that this is really important to understand.
So you kept mentioning, learning from your mistakes and allowing your players to learn from mistakes. But as you know, you know, the ecosystem of pro basketball overseas, you know, usually teams or a lot of teams won't have a lot of patience with the coaches, right? If you're not winning, you know, you might get fired or your job security is at risk. Like, what allowed you to kind of trust him to learn, or trust the team to learn from mistake, regardless of, you know, winning record?
It's simple. It's look the story of everybody. Yesterday, Fenerbahce won the EuroLeague. Jasikevicius, great coach, great player. Finally, he won a EuroLeague after 4 Final Fours. Selko Obradovic being the best coach ever in Europe when he signed to Fener, he lost 2 finals, still win the next, and he is the number 1. So when always also the best ones, they are not always winning, and they need time to adapt the team and everything. If they have this space, we that of course we are like on lower level than these players. If we don't have this space, how we are going to do? I mean, it's impossible to be perfect, and more when the level is not the elite, the pure elite like the NBA or EuroLeague. And also these teams have a lot of problems. I mean, some teams are putting crazy money, big budget, good players. They don't win. Because winning is an exception. And it's easier to see how, I don't know, all these, the video, maybe the most famous recently is Roger Federer being one of the best tennis player ever, saying like, I won the 52% of my points. With a 18 Grand Slams, 70, I mean, and only 52 because it's really difficult. And then when we focus only on the result like quick, we need to know that are a lot of teams in this country and there's only one winner. So you need to really put the limits of when you lose, like be thinking like, okay, maybe next we will have a new opportunity. So let's go to use this to learn for the future.
想要把镜头转到东超，因为今年赛季你们打过了很多比赛 ，BCL、东超，在这个情况之下，还有我们自己的本土联赛，那你感受到了很多不一样的强度跟不一样的球风，特别是在跟日韩球队对抗的时候，很明显他们就是东超里面可能我们最想要打败的劲旅。那现在我们是 EASL 里面的第2名了，即便在这个情况之下，俊祥，你认为说我们跟他们距离到底还有多远？我们真的是东亚顶尖的球队吗？
其实就是上一次的冠亚军就很明显的感受到，就是其实我们的失误还是比较容易。对，我觉得他们的团队防守跟沟通的效率其实还是挺高的啦，说实在的，对。然后他们是以防守带动进攻的，可能我们就是虽然我觉得我们自己的防守不差，但我觉得还是有一些小细节没有做得到人家那么好。但可是我觉得以我们现在的经验跟我们进步的程度，我就相信还是下一次真的还是有机会可以去打败他们的。
I always think that not really far. There's one point that maybe when you put the national team, you can compare different level. But if you check Japan, all the national team is spread in a lot of teams. So when you go team by team, their main player is only against your main player, and after this, there's a big gap of players like kind of similar level. Maybe the biggest difference can be the feeling for me was more with the Japanese. The intensity that they have is a little bit higher. Our first game against Hiroshima, I think that the players can feel how like, the pressure that they put on the ball is completely different. But on the moment that you start playing more games like this, if the players can adapt to this level is when you can really compete. And there's one point that all the players on the team adapt quick to this. And I mean, unfortunately, our third game with Hiroshima still was a loss. But every game that we play against them, we show how like, hey, now we know. Now we know this level. And there's one point where mentally you need to be better and be more focused on more minutes, because the difference can be there. The intensity that they can have is longer time, and I don't think that really, really far, because the biggest difference sometimes you compare with the national team, and national team can be maybe the size that some teams can have that maybe you don't have, but on a team competition you match because you can have the size on your imports and you can match up this.
那讲完了东超，还是把焦点拉回到我们自己本土的联赛里面。当然有很多感动的时刻，那其中一个也包含抛彩带之后。不过这个时候我听到一个声音，就是有人冲过去跟你讲说：“俊祥，不要再吊球了。”那个到底是谁讲的？当时的那个情境到底是怎样？
没有啊，就是就我们的就是个人训练师啦，对，然后他其实 对我蛮用心的啦，他就是不只是这一次失误了，然后还有每一次细节啦。在这一段，在这7战的这一段里面，我被超了上篮的时候被超了很多球，像廷跟右尾都有其实超过我在我手上超过蛮多球的。对，然后他们有点感觉有点为什么叫廷恩手？有点针对性的方式，因为他可能会放我过，可是在被受到包夹的时候，我就比较不会护球，对，然后就是有一些比较针对的状况，然后他有把这些剪辑下来都东西都丢给我，对，然后就叫我去学，可是没办法，看了影片你就会就是记忆在习惯里面，对，所以就是还是需要一点时间去适应这些被针对性的一些节奏跟技能啊，对啊，然后。那时候他其实就是也是算是喜极而泣啊，但就是对我来说，对他来说还是有点小遗憾吧，对啊。然后就是因为东超我也是因为被超球，然后才损失了那一个冠军。那这一次其实也是差一点，说实在我也没有想要逃避这个问题，对。然后对他就是很开心，还是能赢下冠军，然后就抱着我说答应不要再转球，我不知道那时候有手影，对，然后我心里只是觉得我会去面对他，对，我还私底下我会答应他了。
I mean, nothing that of course, he have a lot of things to improve. But it's more on some point where he really still, on these 3 years, for me, I saw how he changed a little bit his habit, his mentality, how he take care. And this is a process where for next year, of course, in my mind, I have some routines to put on him to try to make another steps. Because there's one thing that we need to accept. On the moment that you were here, everybody expect you to be here every day. So if you relax and you go down, someone can smack your face. And my goal with my team is try to keep this level there, understanding that, I mean, ESL, we finish second, we win the P League, and be winning always is really difficult, but minimum, we need to try to keep being this competitive team in every single spot that we play. Because, for example, the ESL is really short league, and maybe one injury in one moment on the key game can change if you play Final Four or not, because it's really competitive. But minimum, keep this mentality of compete every day is what we can't never relax, and that's why on this we need to maybe create new routines from my first year to this year. You can say how also I changed the way that I practice, trying to always do something new, something better, and keep growing. Also me as a coach, because it's exactly the same. I mean, now the lights are going to be for the players, and it's going to be also for me. So this summer I need to use it to change something and to improve.
所以刚卡总讲到了，其实休赛季还有很多事情要做。那我好奇的是，俊祥在拿了连续2年的 MVP 跟 Finals MVP 之后，当然我觉得你自己也知道自己的缺点是什么。那这个休赛季，你大概会着重在哪些加强的方向？可不可以跟我们的球迷朋友分享？
方向，他们想听到什么？应该是运球吧。然后，对，就是对，还是在球队上面会比较多一些，在 last second 的时候会丢在我身上来，对，那有时候确实就是没有做好，对，那其实一直以来我都是本来就是想说以团队的方式去赢下整个比赛，对吧？其实也看到我们在这个赛季很多次的比赛，其实都是我们有每一场都有每一个球员都跳了出来，就不单单只有我一个球员而已啦，对吧？然后我们最主要能拿下那么多场胜利的时候，其实都是以我们团队防守为主啦。对，所以我觉得就是以在自己个人方面的话，我还是会去寻求叫我答应他那个人，对，去我会再多寻求他的帮助，对，然后对，因为休赛季我不确定会不会入选中华队，但我觉得休赛季可能还是会有一段时间会在忙啦。
Of course, I mean we are not perfect. Maybe the best thing that we have is still the age of the base of the players. Have a space to grow, and the first that we have to do is be thinking on every player that we have on the team, how they can grow to help the team on the future. The market agency, how we change the players and all these things, what we are going to do is still a little bit some things to be deciding. And right now what we have sure is the players that we have under contract, because most of the team extend his contract recently, and they put goals for these players because they have to be the base. Whatever we can add to make this roster grow is going to be good.
你如果说可以选一个帮手或一个帮手的形态的话，你会不会想要哪一些元素，甚至是特别的哪一个球员可以跟你一起打球？ 会有这个状况吗？
如果我要讲元素的话，我可能会讲到中锋啊，因为为什么会讲中锋？因为我觉得就是布朗太辛苦了，对啊，我知道他真的在球队上是一个非常非常大的一个功用跟帮忙，对啊，因为他也分担我很多事情，对啊，然后在禁区的巩固也非常好。那如果他也要单靠他，又要扛内线，又要扛外线的话，我觉得他其实游击上体力，说实在看出来他有点累了，对。
所以看起来教练跟俊祥都分享了他们自己的想法。那其实最终在这个赛季里面，还是一个对领航员来说收获满满的赛季。那除了你们自己的成功跟努力之外，当然还有很多幕后工作人员，包括你们球团人员、联盟还有球迷后面的支持。那关于这一点，你们有什么可以分享，或者是说跟他们有没有一些话想说？
其实我那时候有点意外，就是在前2站的时候，前3站的时候自己表现不好的时候，其实是所有的工作人员都有私底下讯息我，然后都觉得说，其实我扛的压力已经很多了，然后叫我不要担心，然后你现在能带我们在这个阶段其实很好了，然后就是一直持续的鼓励我，然后还会写一些小卡片放在我们休息室鼓励着我们大家，对，然后再就是也有收到很多粉丝的那个一些支持跟鼓励啊，对啊，我记得在富邦在跟4嘛，对，我记得跟4的时候，那时候就是有比较一些突破的时候，然后就是我有发一篇限动，就是很诚心的感谢各位，对，然后就是还是你们就是收到你们的一直鼓励啦，对，然后就是那时候就是真的挺感谢的，对，所以我才会发那个问答，然后去跟球迷互动这样子。
I talked to some of the people, especially on our team, that they are like on the market team, preparing the games and everything. Like they really, I feel happy for all these people. When we finish the championships and see the marketing staff and everything celebrating, and this really put me really happy, because the way of how I understand my job is I'm a guy on the side of the players to help them, and when I saw them happy, it's like feeling good. And all these people around and the fans that they were waiting. This is for me the best feeling, no? And Philly is a league like we finished with a lot of people working there, and maybe for the P League having a game 7 can be the perfect finish. It's like there's no another option to more, nothing better. Like they always say, there are 2 words on the basketball that are perfect. It's game 7, and leave this game 7. I feel that the feelings are also different than in a Final Four that like. But when you go game by game, and from the middle we travel to Mongolia and all these things, like really like, it's being really long. It's being really long in another game, and finally have a game 7. It's a sold out, and luckily for us, finished well, because if finished for the other side, maybe it was worse. But I feel that the way that finished with a game 7 like this, with a game with the ups and downs, and also with the last possession that Braves have a chance to go for the overtime, I think that if you write a book, cannot be better finish. Maybe a buzzer beater, but it's nothing more.
所以在这个赛季走完了之后，我相信卡总还有俊祥也跟我们分享他们对于今年赛季的很多感触，还有下一个赛季要进行必须要进步的地方。那我们已经开始期待下一个赛季的领航员了。今天谢谢俊祥，也谢谢卡总加入我们讨论。我是蔡景景，还有邝，台湾吃瓜第一品牌，我们下一集再见了，拜拜。